Shot 2 pilots. I decided to start at Culinary Ground Zero. Stake your claim, and this spud's for you. One show about steak, one show about potatoes. Everybody thought I was crazy in doing the first show because I was going to make one steak. That's all, one. They're like, what? You're not going to make like 3 different recipes? Like, no, one. All we're going to do in a half hour is get one steak cooked. And it will be not only perfect, but perfectly replicable. So my thing was always that I wanted to come up with methods that made things foolproof, and steak is not a foolproof thing. So the whole show came down to cooking one ribeye steak. But, we started in a field full of cows, which nobody had really done before, because if you don't understand the critter, you can't understand the steak. And so we tore everything down and built a show that was about making sure that people understood why we had done what we had done and why you do what you do, and coming up with a method that would create a really, really terrific steak. We studied, we did scenes that dealt with resting, the science behind resting meat, and why we're using kosher salt instead of another salt, why you choose a cast iron pan and what that's all about. So it was a half-hour show about one steak, and then the potato show was we did 3. We did do 3 dishes because we needed the comparison and contrast in order to make sense of what was going on, and it just made sense. And for a while, that was the model for Good Eats. It was either a single subject or a comparison contrast, where you really needed to have 3 dishes or at least 2 dishes to kind of paint the picture properly. But those were the two pilots, and we shot those in August of 1997. It took us, because we were having to borrow money and edit on the cheap, we didn't even finish them until December, because we were calling in favors for edit time and avid time. And then when we got them done, no one would watch them. Food Network, especially not interested in watching, because they produced everything in-house at the time. And so my wife went to work as a contract marketing person at Coca-Cola, and I taught cooking classes, sometimes to 2-3 people. And she told me, about 6 months in, she's like, you need to be writing, because this is going to happen. And I was like, no, it's not. No, I don't think it is. So I didn't do diddly. And what happened is that we ended up managing to get the shows played on the PBS station in Chicago. And this is probably, I want to say summer. Yeah, it was summer of 1998. Yeah, that sounds right. And our deal with this PBS station is that we would let them air the shows, I think it was twice a piece. And all we wanted were the numbers. We wanted the Nielsen numbers. That's all we wanted. And they did us a really nice flavor. They butted them up against Martha Stewart. And we bettered her numbers each time that it showed. And so we had a little bit of steam there. But still, Food Network wouldn't look at them. And when they finally did, it was a complete, to this day, it's hard for me to believe how this happened. We had shot on a new, Kodak was, Eastman Kodak, who made the film stock, were very excited about a new pull-down aspect ratio that they were using, sorry, I'm hungry, for transfer to high def, because we thought one day this whole high def thing's going to happen. We're like, no. So we were shooting Super 16 for high def, and which allowed you to get more frames on a shorter roll of film. And they liked what we had done. And so they asked us if they could show some of Good Eats clips at trade shows and put some of it online. And we're like, online? How do you do that? They're like, yeah, we're figuring out how to do that. You can actually put video on the internet. I'm like, are you serious? How do you do that? I'm like, yeah, we got to, it's just called streaming. I'm like, I was gobsmacked that such a thing could exist. And so they did. And one day, a programming executive at Food Network happened by Kodak Eastman's website and happened to watch this short snippet from the steak show, called us the next day. The next week we were in New York. A week after that we had a deal, and 3 months later we were in production.